Posted by you/safecap7244. I need to share this story because I'm still shaking from what happened. I, 25F, have been with my husband, 30M, since 2018. We have a 3-year-old girl and a newborn boy, but tonight, things almost took a turn for the worse. My husband has always had trouble paying attention, but I never thought it would come to this. Our neighborhood is weirdly laid out, with cars zooming by at crazy speeds at all hours of the day. I was folding clothes when I heard our toddler screaming, "Daddy, help." That tone made me drop everything and sprint outside. What I saw made my blood run cold, our newborn in his stroller, careening towards the busy street. I screamed and ran to him, barely stopping the stroller in time. My baby girl's hands and knees were scratched up because she tripped trying to run after the stroller. I snatched up my baby, heart pounding, and scanned for my husband. He wasn't watching, he was chatting with neighbors, completely oblivious. The anger I felt was unlike anything I've ever experienced. I stormed up to him, shouting in disbelief. He looked shocked at first, then realized what almost happened. The apologies and tears came pouring out, but it was too late. I couldn't wrap my head around how he could be so careless, so blind to our toddler's screams and the stroller rolling away. I packed up the kids and left, staying with my parents. They're on my side, but my husband keeps texting, begging for forgiveness, calling it an honest mistake. But I can't shake the terror of almost losing my baby because he couldn't focus for a single second. My baby girl got hurt in the process because he couldn't pay attention. I almost lost my son because he couldn't pay attention. I can't stop crying. I feel so guilty. I wish this all never happened. Sorry it's short, I just want to hold my babies and I can't stop shaking every time I think about it. What if I had been just 1 second late? Would I have been planning a funeral? And the reason I left the house instead of him was because I hate that house. I don't feel like it's safe for the kids with all the traffic, and I was right. It's my husband's work house. I can't be running either. I had a C-section less than 6 weeks ago. A lot of people are saying, why wasn't I watching the kids? I was doing their laundry, like a parent does. He takes them for walks to have bonding time with them. He literally created this situation by himself. This has never happened before, how was I supposed to know? And people are saying, why didn't I get him checked out? I'm not his mother, he is 30 years old. I'm sick of people acting like I have to parent my own husband while I literally have a newborn, a toddler, and am still healing from a C-section. I tore my stitches when I ran to get my baby. I don't care if it was his ADHD, the court wouldn't care either. If he had unalived my child, he would have gone to prison either way. Update 1. The neighbor's wife sent me the footage, and I really can't wrap my head around it. My husband was walking with a stroller, and my toddler was in front of them when they passed the neighbor's house. My neighbor was outside, washing his car, and my toddler saw his pet cat and stopped to go pet it. So, my husband stopped, left my baby on the road, didn't even bother locking the wheels, and walked all the way up the driveway, not even bothering to look back at the baby. He had his back turned for about 5 minutes before the stroller suddenly started moving. I think it's because the road is on a hill, or it could have been the wind. My toddler never went near the stroller, it couldn't have been her. The stroller went down the road, and my toddler started screaming and running for it when she saw it. The neighbor started running after my daughter when she tripped. He tried to pick her up, and that's when the neighbor's wife's car comes into frame. She stops and starts running back towards the stroller. After that, you can't really see anything because it's all out of frame, but you can hear all the commotion. My husband just stood there the whole time, hand on his head with a blank stare on his face. He didn't even do anything when our toddler was crying from hurting herself. He only started crying when I confronted him. What should I do? I genuinely do not know what to do, and I'm panicking. This was never the life I wanted for my kids. I don't understand why he was just standing there. I have not even gotten a text or a call from him since I got sent the video. It's just been silent. I can't get the sound of my daughter's screams out of my head. That's a sound no mother wants to hear. I can't explain the moment, but it felt like my blood went cold, and I just felt pure fear. I never want to watch the footage again. Update 2. Hey everyone, I posted here a while back about my husband nearly unaliving our newborn son. I wanted to give a quick update on the situation. After reading through the comments, I decided to go back to my husband. Many of you pointed out that if I left him, we'd end up with 50-50 custody of our kids, which I couldn't bear. So, I made the difficult choice to stay, even though my love for him has faded. My plan now is to tough it out until our kids turn 18, and then leave. I'm terrified of getting pregnant again, especially since I'm not allowed to use birth control or get my tubes tied. My parents, who could offer support, are moving away, leaving me feeling trapped. Despite everything, my husband tries hard to make things right. He still treats me with affection and goes out of his way to create special moments for our family. Seeing him bond with our newborn and our daughter fills me with conflicting emotions. I know I can't stand being with him, but I can't bear to separate him from our kids either. He was so happy when we came back home, but I can't stand even looking at him. I feel some guilt because he still calls me by my nickname and looks at me like I'm the only girl in the world. He continues our traditions, like getting ice cream and our favorite snacks and setting up a fort on our bed to watch movies on our laptop after the kids are asleep. Even though I'm sacrificing my happiness, my priority is ensuring my children's safety and well-being. It's a tough situation, but I'm doing my best to navigate it for the sake of my family. This is a throwaway account, so I'm going to log out. Goodbye. Update 3. As you can see from my previous post, I did go back to him, and it was quite literally the biggest mistake I've ever made. I felt like I really had no choice, no money, my family moved out of state, and a lot has happened in the past couple of months. It turns out my husband started taking meds for his ADHD a couple of weeks before I was due to give birth to our son. He took my kids on a walk to cover up the fact that he was also on meth. He took my kids to meet his dealer every time they went for a walk. Looking back at the footage now, it makes so much sense because of the way he was talking to the neighbor before everything happened. He was kind of leaning to the side. I talked to my neighbor, and I asked him if he knew that my husband was on any substances. He said he didn't, but he noticed that my husband looked a bit off recently. His wife works at a rehab clinic. After a fight where I had to flee with the kids to the neighbor's house, she pointed out that the way he was acting was how people acted with substance withdrawals. My neighbor and his wife ended up helping me book a flight to my parents. I'm currently with them right now, and I have spoken to a lawyer that my parents are going to help me pay for. I thank all the people from my original post who told me to keep the footage because it is going to come in handy. My husband keeps sending me videos of him shooting up and doing other substances, claiming that they are going to fix him. He sent me a video of him standing in our kids' room, screaming at me, saying that it helped him cope with his ADHD. He took a knife and stabbed both of our kids' mattresses. I am not going back. He even cut up the side of my bed. There's a comment from my previous post that has been sitting in the back of my mind and has been bugging me. It said, saying I don't care if it was his ADHD isn't going to fix anything and will probably only make things worse. Talking and thinking about it like he intentionally tried to unalive your child isn't helpful either. With ADHD, you actually do not register things like this at all sometimes. Life expectancy for those of us with ADHD is significantly lower because many of us end up, often accidentally, unaliving ourselves. It is not the same thing as carelessness, but learning about ADHD more deeply can help you guys be safer. Understanding how my ADHD works and using different than standard precautions, like my brain needs, has actually most likely saved my life. Lay out what you want from him. That's probably that he gets his ADHD better under control, whether that be through prescription medication or more homeopathic methods, that you get a different place if possible, that he not take your kids out in your front yard without you, etc. Also, neither he nor the neighbor noticed, but you heard your kid from inside? Something seems off here. Were your neighbors just watching the stroller roll towards the street? Was your husband on the other side of your house where he couldn't see the stroller? Were you already walking outside as this unfolded? I'm trying to understand better what was going on here and why your husband or the neighbor did not notice, but you did from inside? People with ADHD tend to be incredibly good and quick to act in emergency situations, so this is especially weird. I'm absolutely not accusing you of leaving anything out, but asking you to think about what your husband and the neighbor were doing that neither noticed. That smells fishy. This is a horrible situation. I lost a pet due to the inattentiveness of ADHD, but I can't imagine losing or even nearly losing a child. WTF, it baffles me that you can even compare losing an animal to losing a child. You made people with ADHD sound completely unreliable for themselves and that they can't do anything. You made them sound very helpless. And saying that the life expectancy thing was completely uncalled for as well. I bet many people with ADHD reading that completely disagreed with you. Judging from all the comments and YouTube videos I've seen on my post, I don't know if you're projecting because you lost a pet from your inattentiveness of ADHD. If you are letting things unalive in your care, you need to get stronger help. And no, I was not going to lay out what I want from him. He's the one that started mixing his meds and was high off his mind every time they went out for a walk. And no, I'm not ableist. I was in a very vulnerable state when I first posted my original post. All I was doing was looking for help and advice, but all I got was, where were you? What were you doing? You want to know what I was doing? I was healing from a freaking C-section, get that through your heads. I genuinely hope that everybody who said something horrible about me in my original post has to get cut open and then 4 days later is forced to run down the street. I gave him another chance like you all said in my original post. You saw what happened. Stop using ADHD as an excuse. I genuinely believe that if he had unalived my child, you would have defended him. And no, I did not know he was on any substances. To all the people who reached out to me, I will be forever grateful. All of the parents with ADHD who didn't make me feel like it was all my fault, and all the stories you shared, made me feel seen because I know exactly how it feels. To everybody who defended me, I wish I could give you a big hug. I genuinely wish I could send gift baskets. Thank you all from the bottom of my heart, and I am so sorry about that comment that person made. I know you guys are not all like that. You are genuinely intelligent from all the comments that I've read, and I cannot thank you enough. And to the one person who sent me that horrible message, I genuinely hope I run into you one day so I can beat you until you see stars. Say anything about my daughter or my son one more time, and I will literally track you down.